Hi, this is Ashley, and I created a tag. So I created the Agents of Sheild book tag. I absolutely love Agents of Sheild, and while it started out rocky in the first season, it really came into its own in its second season, and it's really one of those shows that I absolutely love. So I figured, why not make a tag about something that I totally love and relate it to books? So here we go. Let's just get right into the questions. Question number 1. Agent Coulson, a leader that you would want to follow. And there are a lot of leaders in books. It's one of those traits that just kind of pops up. But for me, I decided to go with Wolf from Ink and Bone. He is the leader of the group of scholars in the Ink and Bone series, and he's their teacher, but he also guides them on this mission that they go on. He's just a really great leader. So he really cares about people and wants change, and yeah, I just found him really interesting. Question number 2, Agent May, a badass female character. And for this, I wanted to highlight a character that isn't really mentioned too often, and that is Athena from the Anti-Goddess series. I've only read Anti-Goddess so far, but in that one book, Athena was awesome. Yes, she is the god of war, but she was just so freaking badass, and she always cared about her brothers, and while there were moments that she kind of wavered and she just wanted to be healthy again, it was just really interesting to watch her and see how she was just not willing to give up even when the odds were against her. Skye, a character who's gone through a major transformation. And anybody who watches the show knows that Skye started out as this really poorly developed character in the first season, but she became one of my favorites in the second as the development and everything they gave her actually finally made sense. And she went through this crazy physical transformation as well, so she has a lot going on for her. And I chose Benny Imora from the Rotten Ruin series, and Benny goes from this kind of weary kid to a kid that is learning how to live out on his own and make decisions and really become a much stronger person and live up to his brother's legacy. And it's a major transformation when you see what Benny's like at the beginning of the first book to where he ends up by the end of the last book. Leo Fitz, a character that is still dealing with a traumatic life event. So there's a million characters that have traumatic pasts, but not all of them really deal with it on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to highlight some characters that are constantly struggling with this and not just flashes. So for me, I decided to choose David from Steelheart, and in the prologue, his father dies at the hands of an epic, and pretty much we see through the entire book that this is his driving motivation, and he deals with this fact every single day, and it's something that he can't move past, and it drives his entire life. And I haven't read Firefight yet, but he was really interesting in Steelheart and the actual short story Mitosis as well. The next question is Jemma Simmons, a highly intelligent character. And I wanted to just shine the light on some really, really smart characters that are out there. And for me, I'm going to choose Mark Watney from The Martian because he is incredibly intelligent. And I love reading about smart characters, and it was just a joy to jump into his head and see how he rationalized and processed everything because he's brilliant. And of course, the next question is FitzSimmons, an oh-so-perfect pairing that's even better when they're together. And for this, I'm going to choose Alexia and Lord Macon from the Soulless series. I've only read Soulless so far, but the two of them are absolutely fantastic when they are together. They're great apart, but when they get together, they're just a force that almost cannot be stopped. And I just really enjoyed seeing them interact. Grant Ward, a character who went through a major change that you didn't see coming. And for that, I'm going to choose Magnus from the Fallen Kingdom series. I have only read Fallen Kingdom so far, but from when I read it, Magnus was kind of a little bit arrogant, but he was overall just a nice guy, kind of a pushover. And then something just snapped and changed, and I did not see him turning so mean and cruel so quickly. I just didn't see it coming from him because he just didn't give off that vibe previously. So I didn't see that one coming. The next question is Agent Triplett, and that is a promising character who never lived up to their full potential. And for this, I'm going to choose Jalal from The Wrath and the Dawn. And this is because I loved Jalal when he was introduced, and I felt like there was so much more that we could do. Similar with Trip, there was just so much that this character could give, but he was only really there as kind of like a friend. And I just wanted more from Jalal as the story went on. And I just wanted him to break out and have something come to him on his own. And I just want him to be used more. Hopefully that will change in the next book. The next question is Raina, a character that you never know if you can actually trust them. And for this, I'm going to choose Rufus from Kindred. And this is mainly because he's a product of his time, but there was inklings of a good heart, and you never knew if he was going to go with his heart or what society said was okay, and you just never exactly knew what was going to come out from him next, even though you might kind of guess, but it was never going to be completely clear. So, Calvin Zabo, aka the Doctor, aka Mr. Hyde, a dangerous character with a heart of gold. And for this, I have to choose Justine from The Girl of Nightmares. When she is introduced, you know that she's dangerous, you know that she's vile, she's out to get the main character, and she's just not somebody that you can really trust, and could potentially kill and would kill just to get the position that she wants. But you kind of get glimpses that deep down she's really not that awful of a person, and you get to see how she develops, and she's actually not quite as terrible as she may seem. And the final question is Lincoln, a newcomer, a book released within the last year that you really enjoy. And for me, I'm going to mention this again, but Ink and Bone. The first book is extremely interesting as we follow the different characters in this alternate universe steampunk that's kind of really cool and really interesting to read. And I just really enjoy it, and I feel like not many people know much about it. I think there's like 250 reviews on Goodreads. But I really enjoyed it, so I always want to let people know that it's a book that was really fun, so check it out. And that is the Agents of Sheild book tag. If you guys like it, go ahead and do it. I am going to tag anybody who has watched Agents of Sheild, and maybe I'll go ahead and put links down below to specific people if I know they've watched. But if you watched Agents of Sheild, you are tagged. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.